There's something magical about the first warm rays of summer, the way they kiss the earth after a long cold winter. It's a time of renewal, a time when the world seems to wake up and come alive, and few songs capture that feeling as perfectly as the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun. Written during a period of personal and creative rebirth, George shook off the cold of winter and the somewhat difficult get-back sessions with his second most popular tune, a celebration of hope, resilience, and the simple joys that come with the start of summer. In April 1969, George skipped an Apple meeting in favor of traveling 20 miles south to his buddy Eric Clapton's home in Ewhurst, Surrey. And that's where the idea for Here Comes the Sun originated, while lounging in the garden with Eric.
Side 2, Here Comes the Sun, is the other song that I wrote on the album. And it was written on a nice sunny day this early summer in Eric Clapton's garden, because we'd been through really hell with business, and it was very heavy. And on that day I just felt as though I was sagging off like from school. It was like that. I just didn't come in one day. And just the release of being in the sun, and it was just really nice day. And that song just came. It's a bit like if I needed someone, and like that basic sort of, the riff going through it is the same as all those bells of Rimney sort of bird type thing. Yeah. Well, that's how I see it anyway. But quite simple tune.
George then finished the tune while on vacation in Sardinia, arriving back just 2 weeks before the track's recording session. As he had done on his Rubber Soul track If I Needed Someone, George wrote Here Comes the Sun by experimenting with the D major chord with the capo on the 7th fret. The boys entered EMI Studio 2 in July 7th, this being Ringo's 29th birthday, to focus entirely on George's new song, although only 3 Beatles were present because of John's recuperating from his recent car accident in Scotland. Before recording commenced, much instruction needed to be given to George's bandmates, especially to the birthday boy because of the tricky timing in the song. George's interest in Indian music was another influence, particularly with the complex timing of the instrumental passage at the end of each chorus. Ringo remembers this intricate time signature change.
He comes into me because he'd been to India again, I think. He said, I've got this song, it's like 7.5 time. Yeah, so, he might as well have talked to me in Arabic, you know what I mean? Because I had no way of going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not my brain. So as long as I go, okay, that's 7, good, got it.
Following that, an 8-track machine was used to record 13 takes of the rhythm track, with Paul on bass, Ringo on drums, George on acoustic guitar, and providing guide vocals. Take 13th was the keeper, to which a series of overdubs would be added. More guitar parts from George, more drum fills from Ringo, a harmonium played by George, a complex rhythm of hand claps, George's lead voice, and backing vocals from Paul and George. Since it was just the 2 of them without John, they double-tracked their harmonies to make it sound fuller. Interestingly, even though John had recovered from his accident and had returned to recording sessions by July, while the track was still in the works, studio documentation suggests that he was either not present or declined to participate. So apparently John could have contributed to the track, but wasn't there for some reason or another.
Stay in bed.
Blow your hair.
Bed piece.
Hairpiece.
Hairpiece, bed piece.
While work progressed on various other songs, Here Comes the Sun took a backseat for the next couple weeks or so. At this point, the Beatles were sometimes working independently on various songs instead of always together. For example, Paul could be doing overdubs for Maxwell's Silver Hammer, while George was busy adding extra touches to Here Comes the Sun. Engineer Tony Clark remembers, they kept the 2 studios running and I would be there to sit in studio 2 or 3, usually 3, just to be there at the Beatles' beck and call whenever someone wanted to come in and do an overdub. At this stage of the album, I don't think I saw the 4 of them together. But the main color of the recording comes from George's wobbly Moog synthesizer played on the slide ribbon and overdubbed before the final mix on August 19th.
George Harrison, I believe, has written quite a few songs in the past few years, but there's only a few of them that have actually been recorded. Why is this?
Well, it's usually whoever sort of pushes the hardest gets most songs, you know. And I think George was feeling at one time, like I feel occasionally, that the other two write such great songs that you know, you don't really like to fetch out your little song and say, how about this? But that's all over now, and if I've got now, I pull them out, and if George has got them, he pulls them out, and we just do them all now. There's none of that.
Right.
Here Comes the Sun was the last song that George would ever present to the group. The Beatles did record I Me Mine in early 1970, but as far as new compositions were concerned, that's it. Here Comes the Sun was the last one. What a fitting farewell, huh?
And the second George Harrison track is Here Comes the Sun, which is again another very catchy melodic song.
Yeah, it reminds me of sort of Buddy Holly in a way. You know.
Yes, I see what you mean. It's certainly that very strong melody line again. Is there any, I don't suppose there is any reason for when people write songs, but it seems such a dramatic change for George.
I don't know, you know. I mean, it's just the way he's progressing. He's writing all kinds of songs, you know. I mean, once the door opens, it's the floodgates open, you know. You can't sort of... It's an effort to concentrate on writing certain kinds of songs, you know. Like, I prefer writing just non-melodic, straight rock, but I can't help writing other things, you know, and I think that applies to all of us. Just the songs just come out, you know.
John, when you got this LP together, did you select from, like, a large number of tracks, or did you virtually have a... You know,
not from a large number of tracks, from a large number of songs, you see. Each of us have got, you know, maybe about 10 songs to contribute to an album. You can't get them all on, so when it's your turn to record, as it were, you've got to sort of pick the one you want on most, really.
And so then, I suppose it gets to a point of musical balance of the LP too, does it?
Yeah, it gets into that.
Right.